Welcome to Hybus News. I'm Suresh Kochatan. US President Donald Trump has signed an executive order banning Americans from investing in 31 Chinese firms that the administration says are owned or controlled by the Chinese military. The executive order, which was signed by President Trump on Thursday, prohibits certain purchases involving publicly traded securities or any security that are derivative of or are designed to provide investment exposure to such activities of any communist Chinese military company. China is increasingly exploiting US capital to resource and to enable the development and modernization of the military, intelligence and other security apparatus, which continues to allow China to directly threaten the US homeland and US forces overseas, including by developing and deploying weapons of mass destruction, advanced conventional weapons, and malicious cyber-enabled actions against the United States and its people, President Trump in his executive order said. The order applies to 31 Chinese companies which it says enable the development and modernization of China's People's Liberation Army and directly threaten US security. Smartphone maker Huawei and Hikvision, one of the world's largest manufacturers and suppliers of video surveillance equipment, are among the blacklisted company, CNN has reported. Some of the other companies listed include China Telecom and China Mobile, trade on the New York Stock Exchange, it said. Noting that the key to the development of the Chinese military, intelligence and other security apparatus is the country's large, ostensibly private economy. Trump said that though the national strategy of the military-civil fusion, China increases the size of the country's military-industrial complex by compelling civilian Chinese companies to support its military and intelligence activities. He said those companies, though remaining ostensibly private and civilian, directly support the Chinese military, intelligence and security apparatus and aid in the development and modernization. At the same time, those companies raise capital by selling securities to the United States investors that trade on public exchanges both here and in abroad, lobbying US index providers and funds to include these securities in the market offerings and engaging in other acts to ensure access to US capital in the way. China exploits US and Chinese exports to finance the development and modernization of its military, President Trump said. US National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien said that President Trump has no higher priority than ensuring the security of the Americans. Many of the companies are publicly traded on stock exchanges around the world, and individual investors in the United States can unknowingly provide funds to them through passive institutional investment vehicles such as mutual funds and retirement plans, he said in a statement. O'Brien said that President Trump's action serves to protect American investors from unintentionally providing capital that goes into enhancing the capabilities of the People's Liberation Army and the People's Republic of China intelligence services, which routinely target American citizens and businesses through cyber operations and directly threaten the critical infrastructure, economy and military of America and its allies and partners around the world. Republican Senator Marco Rubio welcomed the executive order, saying China exploiting the United States capital market is a clear and ongoing risk to the US economy. The Chinese Communist Party's exploitation of US capital market is a clear and ongoing risk to the US economic and national security, and the action by the Trump administration is a welcome start to protecting the markets and investors, Rubio said. Congress should quickly follow suit by passing American Financial Markets Integrity and Security Act, which would ban these companies from operating in US capital markets and make clear to the Communist Party of China that they will no longer be able to take advantage of the financial system in the United States. Rubio said importantly that President Trump's order also lays down a clear market for the United States policy going forward, and we can never put the interests of the Chinese Communist Party and Wall Street above the American workers and mom and pop stores and investors. Currently, there are a number of Chinese companies, including over 30 that were identified on lists released in June and August 2020 by the Pentagon, as well as the networks affiliated and subsidiary companies. Thank you for watching.